हेलो लर्नर्स, वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल बी क्यूरियस। प्रीवियस वीडियो में मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन दिया था रिसेप्टर्स एंड सिग्नलिंग बी एंड टी सेल रिसेप्टर्स पर। अब हम उसी को कंटिन्यू करते हैं और पढ़ते हैं रिसेप्टर लिगेंड इंटरेक्शन। द एंटीजन रिसेप्टर्स ऑफ द एडेप्टिव इम्यून सिस्टम आर ट्रांसमेम्ब्रेन प्रोटीन localized at the plasma membrane. Ligand binding to its cognate receptor normally occur via specific and non-covalent interactions between the ligand and the extracellular portion of the membrane receptor. Although a single lymphocyte expresses only one type of antigen receptor, it also may express many different receptor molecules for signals such as cytokines and chemokines, and therefore a healthy cell must integrate the signals from all the receptors that are occupied at any one time. Receptor ligand binding occur via multiple non-covalent bonds. The surface of receptor molecule bind to its com- complementary ligand surface by the same type of non-covalent chemical ligands that enzyme used to bind to their substrate. These include hydrogen and ionic bonds and hydrophobic and van der Waals interactions. The key to a meaningful receptor ligand interaction is that the sum total of these bonding interactions hold the two interacting surfaces together with sufficient binding energy and for sufficient time to allow a signal to pass from ligand to the cell bearing the receptors. Because these non-covalent interactions are individual weak, many such interactions are required to form a biological significant receptor ligand connection. Furthermore, since each of these non-covalent interactions operate only over a very short distance, generally about 1 angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 10 meter, a highly affinity receptor ligand interaction depend on a very close fit, a degree of complementarity between the receptor and the ligand. How do we quantitate the strength of receptor-ligand interactions? Consider a receptor R binding to a ligand L. We can describe their binding reaction according to the following equation. R plus L gives reversible reaction RL in the catalyst K1 and K minus 2, in which Rl represents the bound receptor ligand complex. K1 is the forward and or association rate constant. K minus 1 is the reverse or dissociation rate constant. The ratio of K1 upon K minus 1 is equal to Ka, the association constant of the reaction, and is measure of affinity of the receptor ligand pair. The association constant is defined as the relationship between the concentration of reaction product Rl and the product of the concentration of reactants R multiplied by L. The unit of affinity are therefore m minus 1. The higher the Ka, the higher the affinity of the interaction. Ka is equal to Rl upon Rl. The reciprocal of the association constant, the dissociation constant Kd, is often used to describe the interaction between receptor and ligands. The unit of the dissociation constant are in molarity. Inspection of this equation reveals that when half of the receptor site are filled with ligand, that is R is equal to RL, the Kd is equal to the concentration of free ligand L. The lower the Kd, the higher the affinity of the interaction. For purposes of comparison, it is used to consider the Kd values of many enzyme substrate interactions lie in the range of 10 power minus 3 m to 10 power minus 5 m. The Kd values of antigen antibody interactions of the beginning of an immune response are normally on the order of 10 power minus 4 to 10 power minus 5 m. However, since the antibodies generated upon antigen stimulation are muted and selected over the course of an immune response, antigen antibody interactions late in an immune response may achieve a Kd as low as 10 power minus 12 m. Under these conditions, if any antigen is present in solution at a concentration at low as 10 power minus 12 m, half of the available antibody binding sites will be filled. This is an extraordinary strong interaction between receptor and ligands. Interactions between receptors and ligands can be multivalent. Many biological receptors include B cell receptors are multivalent, that is, they have more than one ligand binding site per molecule. When both receptors and ligands are multivalent, as occurred, for example, when a bivalent immunoglobulin receptor on the surface of a B cell receptors to two identical repeated antigen on a bacterial surface, the overall binding interaction between the bacterial cell and the B cell receptor is markedly enhanced compared with a similar but univalent interaction. In this way, multiple concurrent receptor ligand interaction increase the strength of binding between two cell surfaces. Note, however, that binding via two identical receptor surface sites to two identical ligand on the same cell may be a little less than twice as firm as binding through a single receptor site. This because the binding of both receptor site to two ligands on the single antigen may somewhat strain the geometry of the binding at one or both of the site and therefore slightly interfere with the fit of the individual's interaction. Much of the benefit of multivalency results from the fact that non-covalent binding interactions are inherently irreversible. The ligand spends some of its time binding to the receptor and some of its time in an unbound or off state. When more than one binding site is involved, it is less likely that all the receptor sites will simultaneously be in the off state and therefore that the receptor will release the ligand. The term avidity is used to describe the overall strength of the collective binding interactions that occur during multivalent binding. In the early phases of the adaptive immune response to multivalent antigens, B cell secrete IgM antibody which has 10 available antigen binding site per molecule. IgM is therefore capable of binding to antigens at a biological significant level, even if the affinity of the each individual binding site for its antigen is low because of the avidity of the entire antigen-antibody interaction. Likewise, when a cell-bound receptor bind to a cell-bound ligand, their interaction may be fundamentally functionally multivalent, even if the individual receptor molecule are monovalent, because multiple receptor molecules can cluster in the cell membrane and participate in the receptor-ligand interaction. In addition, the other co-receptor interactions can also contribute to the overall ability of the engagement between a cell and its antigen. The affinity of a receptor-ligand interaction can be measured by techniques such as equilibrium dialysis or surface plasmon resonance. Both of these methods are described in chapter 20. Receptor and ligand expression can vary during the course of an immune response. One of the most striking features of the molecular logic of immune response is that receptors for some growth factors and cytokines are expressed only on an as needed basis. Most lymphocytes, for example, express a heterodimeric two-chain low-affinity form of the receptor for the cytokine interleukin-2 IL-2, which initiate a signal that promotes lymphocyte proliferation. This cytokine and its receptor are covered in more detail. This low-affinity form of the receptor is unable to bind to IL-2 at physiological cytokine concentration. However, when a lymphocyte is activated by antigen binding, the signal from the antigen binding receptor causes an increase in the cell surface expression of a third chain of the IL-2 receptor. Addition of this third chain converts the low affinity form of the IL receptor to a high affinity form capable of responding to the cytokine level found in the lymphoid organ. The functional corollary of this is that only those lymphocytes that have already bound to antigen and have been stimulated by the binding have cytokine receptors of sufficiently high affinity to respond to the physiological cytokine concentrations. By waiting until it has interacted with its specific antigen before expressing the high affinity cytokine receptor, the lymphocyte both conserves energy and prevents the accidental initiation of an immune response to an irrelevant antigen. Local concentration of cytokine and other ligands may be extremely high. When considering the interactions between receptors and their ligands, it is important to consider the anatomical environment in which these interactions are occurring. Lymphocytes and antigen-presenting cells engage in an immune response and spend a significant amount of time held together by multiple receptor-ligand interaction. Cytokine signals released by a T cell, for example, are received by a bound antigen-presenting cell at the interface between the cell. Before the cytokine has time to diffuse into the tissue fluids, the secretion of cytokines into exactly the location where they are needed is facilitated by the ability of antigen receptor signaling to induce redistribution of the microtubule organizing center within the activated T cell. The MTOC reorientation in turn cause the redistribution of the secretory organs. the Golgi body and secretory vesicles within the T cell cytoplasm so that cytokines made by the T cells are secreted in the direction of the T cell receptor, which in turn is binding to the antigen presenting cell. The technical term for the phenomenon is the vectorial dimensional directional redistribution of the secretory apparatus. Vectorial redistribution of the secretory apparatus is antigen-presenting dendritic cell also occur upon interaction with the antigen-specific T cell. This ensures that cytokines such as IL-12, which are secreted by dendritic cells, are efficiently delivered to antigen-recognizing T cells. The effector cells of the immune system, such as B cells, are also capable of presenting antigens on their cell surface for recognition by helper T cells. A B cells that has a recognized specifically recognized as an antigen through its own receptor will process the antigen and express a particular high concentration of those antigenic peptide bound to measure histocompatibility complex MHC molecules on its surface. A helper T cell binding to an antigen presented on the surface of a B cell will therefore deliver a high concentration of cytokine directly to an antigen specific activated B cell. The local concentration of cytokines at the cellular interfaces can therefore be extremely high, much higher than in the tissue fluid generally. Let's do quick wrap up. आज हमने पढ़ा रिसेप्टर लिगेंड इंटरेक्शन, जिसमें हमने इक्वेशंस पढ़ी के ए आर एल और के डी, dissociation constant Kd RL upon RL. So this is the basic equation for in receptor ligand interaction. receptor ligand expression को पढ़ा हमने और लोकल कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ साइटोकाइंस को पढ़ा। और नेक्स्ट हम पढ़ेंगे कॉमन स्ट्रेटेजी यूज इन मैनी सिग्नलिंग पाथवे, जो कि हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में कंटिन्यू करेंगे। थैंक्स फॉर लिसनिंग।